Welcome to our series on Songs of the Faith. Today we're going to look at a hymn that is pretty well known by everyone. It's called God of Grace and God of Glory. Let me read the text all the way through so you can hear the significance of this text for these times. God of grace and God of glory, on thy people pour thy power. Crown thine ancient church's story, bring its bud to glorious flower. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage for the facing of this hour. Lo, the host of evil round us, scorn thy Christ, assail his ways. From the fears that long have bound us, free our hearts to faith and praise. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage for the living of these days. Cure thy children's warring madness, bend our pride to thy control. Shame our wanton, selfish gladness, rich in things and poor in soul. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage, lest we miss thy kingdom's cold. Save us from weak resignation to the evils we deplore. Let the gift of thy salvation be our glory evermore. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage, serving thee whom we adore. This hymn was written by Harry Everson Fosdick, the pastor of Riverside Church, and it was written for the opening of Riverside Church in 1930 or 1931. Now, you would think a hymn that was written for the dedication of a church would talk about the magnificence of the building, would talk about how grateful we are to have a wonderful space, but this concentrates on the people, and the text speaks to the times and the needs that we have as a people. It's interesting that originally this text was going to be sung to the tune Regent Square. Now, Regent Square is also the tune that we use for Angels from the Realms of Glory. So in order for you to hear how Fosdick intended for it to be sung, I'm going to ask Beth to come and sing the first stanza to the tune Regent Square. I'm sure that you are thinking, well, that's strange. That's not the right tune for that. We know it as another tune, and it is unusual when we hear a text that we have associated with a particular tune sung to a different tune. But this is the tune that Fosdick wanted. But it didn't quite work out that way. It seems that when this hymn became popular, another tune was associated with it, and that's the Welsh tune Cwm Rhondda. Now, the Welsh language is a wonderful, rich language, and if you've ever heard anyone from Wales speaking in their native tongue, it sounds like a foreign language. We have a lot of Welsh tunes in our hymnal because Welsh people are singing people, and they have singing festivals, and it's a nation that still has maintained a strong singing tradition, especially a cappella. This particular tune that we associate with it is called Cwm Rhondda. It's spelled C-W-N, but it's pronounced Cwm. And then Rhondda, H-R-O-N-D-D-A. We call it Rhondda, but actually in Welsh, it's Rhondda. So the tune name is Cwm Rhondda. Now, in order to make this text fit with that tune, they had to add something to the text. And what they added was a repeat of the last phrase, so that when we sing it and we hear, grant us wisdom, grant us courage for the facing of this hour, and then again, for the facing of this hour. And often we thought, well, that's a deliberate technique to emphasize that text and how important it is. And it does that. But originally it was designed because they needed some more words to go with the rest of this tune. And it's said that this particular tune was probably sung at over 5,000 music festivals in the years since it came out. It also is an old tune. So now I'm going to ask Beth to come and sing the first stanza to Cum Ronda and see if you can tell the difference and see which tune you identify with more. We will sing this hymn this Sunday as our final hymn in worship. And again, given the times we're in right now, the struggles we're having, the concerns that we have, these words, grant us wisdom, grant us courage, resonate deeply within our souls, our hearts, and our minds in these days. So I hope that when we sing this Sunday while you're sitting at home, that you'll get out your hymnal or follow the words on the screen and sing along, God of grace and God of glory. And now, as a closing, we're going to have Tim play an arrangement that was done by Paul Mons, a well-known Lutheran organist and composer, of God of grace and God of glory. May God be praised.